All right, so the Tate brothers got arrested, and this time in Miami. Even though this is 100% a political hit, but that don't mean that Tate brothers haven't done anything wrong. They were not monks. They have done horrible things, a lot of the horrible things in the past. They were pimps. They have been bragging about it. I think one of the reasons why Andrew Tate converted to Islam back in the time was because he knew that the way Islam is going to provide him the shield, the way the Muslims are going to back him up, the Christians will never. And if you see back in the time when he was on the trials in Romania, he made sure that the cameras saw Quran in his hand. And hey, look at me! I'm a Muslim. I'm a devout Muslim. I'm having Quran in my hand. So he was using Islam. Being a Muslim is one thing. Converting to the other religion is one thing. But when you're using that religion just for your own purposes to take benefits out of it, I think that's bad. And when you do a lot of the bad things, the nature is going to get you one or the other way. That's exactly what is going on with these Tate brothers. I know they brag about that, we have broken the matrix. The matrix is trying to get us. It's just the system, just like we live in the system the same way they live in the system. If the kind of the things that Andrew Tate would have done, or if the kind of the things that Andrew Tate has done, you would have done that, you wouldn't face the same consequences. Either you're so big that you control the power, that you can bend the rules and you're not going to get affected, or if you're living in that system, then you got to be careful. I know he tries to pose himself as some sort of Napoleon or some sort of, the conqueror, but that is not the case. He cannot defeat the system. It might be that he, goes on trials. The trial goes for like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and finally he's freed. But they will find some other way to get them again. And there are rumors that the UK is trying to extradite them to the England because they also have a lot of the charges of rape, of the sex trafficking and all the kind of stuff, the same kind of charges that they were in Romania. What I know is that if they successfully caught Tate brothers, if they got him, they're not coming out of the prison unless 30 years later or 35 years later, because those are some serious charges. And when he came to the United States from Romania, he was bragging about that, the innocent people, I think it was Tristan Tate, that innocent people don't run away. And Ron DeSantis, he had made it clear back in the time, even that if Tate comes to Miami, he's going to get arrested. When the first time Tate came here, I think he got swatted. He got swatted, but then he didn't learn his lesson. I'm not saying that he's not supposed to move. He's not supposed to be moving freely, but he also gotta be careful of who he's going against. First of all, he's not a good man. I don't say that I'm a good man or I have the ability to judge that good man, but he calls himself a pimp. He calls himself, he kind of tries to humiliate everybody who is not on his level. Believes that, I'm a rich man, everybody else is a brokey, I'm an alpha male, I'm a Chad, everybody else is just bad. And then he, has been pimping, he has been doing all that, the sex trafficking thing. Sooner or later, they're going to get him. I think in all of that, the person who is suffering the most is Luke. Luke is being suffered a lot. The dude want to stay low key, but then he gets, trapped with these Tates. And then he has to spend all that money that he, works hard to make. He has to arrange the lawyers. Every month there was an arrest for the Tates, but actually nothing happens. Probably they will come out, but they're not getting away. They're not going to let him get away. The only countries that are safe for them, I think, are the Saudi countries, because those are Muslim countries, or they can go to Moscow. I actually recently have been to Moscow and they were just roaming freely, and I guess that was 100% political thing, because what the Tates have been doing, if it were not about the politics, they would have been arrested in Moscow too, because they would have faced the backlash. And if they go back to Romania, I think there are still some charges. The charges are not gone away. It's just that they have gotten away from some of the charges, but they were still after him. So in the United States, in UK, Romania, some of these the European countries, they're trying hard to get him, and I think eventually they will. The state, I guess, want to be safe. He better stay in the Saudi countries.